He appeared in the village out of nowhere. In the morning, at the bus stop, the villagers saw a man of indeterminate age, dressed unseasonably. Dirty, well-worn clothes, disheveled hair that had long forgotten the touch of soap or shampoo, a characteristic smell that spread for several meters, said that this colorful character was a homeless man. The man was completely sober, an awkward bag dangling from his hands, containing half a piece of black bread. After standing for about 10 minutes, he walked slowly down the main street. It was obvious that the man did not know where he was going. There was confusion and a kind of childish helplessness in the tired, sad eyes. "Hello." The friendly voice of a stranger brought the homeless man out of his stupor. "Are you looking for something? May I tell you what?" It was the ubiquitous Natalia, single, raising 3 children by different men, statuesque, a local conqueror of hearts. "I'm not looking for anything. I go where I look," the man replied in a surprisingly deep, velvety voice. "So you've come to see someone?" Natalia insisted. She had to find out everything. She was the one who knew everything about everyone in the neighborhood. "No, that's not it. I just got off at this stop. That's all. Do you want to settle down here?" The interrogation continued. "Settle down? Is that possible? And how am I? Like this? What about it? We have many empty houses. Not palaces, of course, but you can live there. What's your name?" "I don't know." "Call me something." "How do you not know?" The woman was astonished. "It doesn't happen that way." "Yes, it happens. I opened my eyes once, but I don't know anything about myself. Am lying on a bench with a hole in my head. Eve've been trying to remember something for a year." "Have you seen a doctor?" "What doctors? Who will listen to me? So dirty and smelly." "Yes," agreed Natalia, "and no one helped?" "And the relatives?" "Yes, I don't remember anyone." The man almost burst into tears. "Leave me alone." And he walked slowly down the street, his shoulders slumped as if under a heavy burden. Natalia stared after him for several minutes, as if thinking about something. Then she turned and went about her business. The homeless man walked through the village, stopped everywhere, stood near the shop, and finally came to the temple. I looked inside. When he saw the pastor, he literally threw himself at his feet. "Help me, I don't know what to do." The pastor listened to the unfortunate man and offered to let him stay in the village. "There are many empty houses here, and there will be work. I'll talk to the head of the village. He is a kind man. He will not refuse to help. You'll settle in, get stronger, and then you'll see. The Lord will arrange everything." "What's your name, you say?" "Call me Mason." "That is a name for everyone is their own." "Agreed. Come, I'll show you one of the houses, right next to this one. You can come to our temple more often, to help with the chores. Men's hands are so necessary. Do you know how to do anything?" "I will try to find out." The newly minted Mason smiled for the first time. "And we'll help you with the clothes. Parishioners often bring unnecessary things. It hurts to look at you. It's summer outside, and you're wearing a jacket." "Thank you, Pastor. I will never forget your kindness." "Wait to thank you. What if you don't like the house?" "I already like it." Ivan's eyes lit up with happiness. The house turned out to be tiny, cozy, just right for one person. For the first time in months, Mason slept on a real bed, covered with a real blanket, drank boiling water from a real cup. He felt surprisingly calm, as if he had come home. Life goes on, he thought. Meanwhile, Natalia was talking all over the neighborhood about a mysterious homeless man who had lost his memory. Maybe someone is looking for him. Maybe he's a millionaire? What if they wanted to kill him, but it didn't work, and now they're looking for him? We have to save a man. Calm down, Natalia. The women in the shop tried to stop the flow of her eloquence. Don't exaggerate. If he stays, well, see what kind of man he is. Yes, you'll see, Natasha said aloud and walked briskly home. Of course. I'll take care of him myself. What good would that do? Natalia was being a little deceitful here. She did not even want to admit to herself that the big, gray, and so sad eyes of a strange homeless man were still standing in front of her. Less than an hour later, she already knew where the priest had placed her friend, that his name was Mason, and that the mayor had promised to hire him without papers. Without undressing, of course, Mason stretched out on an old sofa. He felt so good that he forgot all about his troubles. There was a knock at the door. Without asking who was there, the man opened it for the first visitor. It was Natalia. See, I told you. Great house. Yes, replied the owner, a little embarrassed. He didn't know what to say to this eloquent woman. Well, starting a new life? The guest asked eagerly. And let's start with the bathhouse. I'm sure you wouldn't mind. That would be great, Mason agreed. Only. The bathhouse is already heated. I have clothes in your size. I left them to my husband. So go ahead. Aren't you afraid? Asked Mason suddenly. Well, that's where you're going. The neighbors talked me out of it. You're scaring me. Why should I be afraid? There's nothing to steal from me, and helping a man who can't get out of his head is a sacred thing. Natalia knew exactly how to get the attention of the male population of the planet. Ivan looked at the strange woman carefully. What does she want? Why bother with it? He couldn't find an answer, but Natalia's attention was very pleasant. If that's the case, I'm ready. My name is Natalia. I agree. So shall we go, Natasha? The hostess gave the guest everything he needed before the bath. Soap, shampoo, a new washcloth, a razor, a towel, a change of clothes, and even a scissors. Ivan accepted it as a great jewel. Natalia was busy with dinner. Mom, who is this guy and why is he so scary? The sons vied with each other. And not scary at all. It seemed to you. Just dirty and very unhappy. Is he going to live with us now? I don't know. I don't think so, replied the mother, but she was thinking it would be nice. There hasn't been a man in the house for a long time. Mason showed up nearly 2 hours later. He was a completely different person. Natalia was even confused. The stubble of several days is gone. The hair is not very neat, but it is cut short. The clothes fit perfectly. The eyes are shining. I don't recognize you, the woman said admiringly, involuntarily admiring Mason's regular features. I thought you were much older. Thanks to you, the man replied. They sat at the table for a long time. They talked about everything in the world. The boys joined in the conversation. They talked and talked about their adventures. It was getting dark. Natalia sent her sons to bed. I'm going too. Mason got up. Thank you, Natasha, for a wonderful evening. Come more often. Well, be happy. Natasha stared intently into Mason's eyes, as if waiting for something. It's an amazing thing, Mason said quietly. Just this morning it seemed to me that my life was over. There was no void in front of me. And now, I have a house, a job of sorts. I have you, and there is hope. He took Natasha's hand, leaned down, and kissed her palm. Everything will be fine, the woman whispered, Touched by these words to the depths of her soul, you'll see. It's been 6 months. Natasha has married again. Her husband, Mason, is a respected man in town. He does not drink, is a jack of all trades, helps rebuild the church. The man dotes on Natasha and her sons. The boys are always seen with their stepfather, sometimes on a fishing trip, then at work, then in the temple. It is said that the family is waiting for food. Who would have thought that a homeless man who had lost his memory would get a new life by getting on the first bus that came along? Natalia asked one day, "Do you want to find your family? Find out who you really are? You obviously don't look like a common worker." "I don't want to." "What for?" "What was is gone. You can't change the past. But now, here, with you and my sons, I'm absolutely happy. And I don't need anything else."